Welcome, noble seekers of legend. Before we dive into the fires of destiny and the clash of gods and men, make sure to subscribe to our channel where myths come alive and heroes never die. In the age when gods still walked among mortals and the sun cast molten gold upon the seas, a child named Achilles was born in Phthia, a kingdom cradled between mountains cloaked in mist and the endless blue of the Aegean Sea. His father, Peleus, was king of the Myrmidons, a people disciplined, fierce, and unwavering. His mother, Thetis, was a sea nymph, her hair flowing like dark ocean waves, her eyes shimmering like the depths beneath the moonlight. From the moment Achilles first opened his eyes, destiny had marked him. As a baby, he was no ordinary child. Thetis, knowing the frailty of mortals, dipped him into the river Styx, holding him by the heel. The sacred waters encased his body in invincible strength, leaving only that small heel vulnerable, a tiny, fateful weakness. Even then, the boy's golden hair shone like sunlight, and his gray eyes burned with a fire older than any mortal heart. By the time he was a youth of 12, Achilles' physique was already extraordinary. Tall, lean, with shoulders broad as a warrior's shield, arms toned from endless training, and legs strong and swift, capable of outrunning horses over the rugged hills of Phthia. His training was under Chiron, the wise centaur, who instructed him in war, medicine, music, and strategy. Chiron taught him to wield the spear of Pelian ash with deadly precision and the short Xiphos sword, bronze-tipped, balanced perfectly for both stabbing and slashing. His bronze greaves encased his shins, etched with runes of protection, while a crimson cloak, clasped with a bronze lion's head, trailed behind him in the wind, marking him as both a prince and a warrior destined for glory. By 16, Achilles had grown into a man who seemed sculpted by the gods themselves. Standing over 6 feet tall, with rippling muscles and skin kissed by the sun, he carried himself with a predator's grace. His chest plate, a shining bronze cuirass engraved with lions and waves, reflected sunlight like molten metal. The leather straps of his armor were dyed deep red and bound tight, ensuring both mobility and defense. Across his back, he slung a shield of thick bronze, its surface hammered with images of the world, cities, mountains, rivers, and constellations, forged by Hephaestus when the gods foresaw his destiny. When the call of war came, the Greek fleet gathered at Aulis. Achilles, now 20, stood among kings and heroes, his golden hair braided for battle, his eyes sharp as flint. Beside him, the Myrmidons, clad in blackened bronze armor, helms crested with horsehair, and spears taller than men, formed a dark tide ready to descend upon Troy. The enemy, the Trojans, were formidable. Prince Hector, tall and broad, wore a bronze cuirass inlaid with gold, a helmet crowned with red plumes, and carried a heavy spear tipped with iron. His shield was round and painted with fierce lions, matching the valor in his eyes. On the battlefield, Achilles moved like a storm incarnate. His bronze spear whirled, gleaming in sunlight, striking shields and armor with sparks. His cloak flowed behind him, a crimson river, as he charged. His opponents, even the fiercest Trojan warriors clad in bronze lamellar armor, could scarcely track his speed. Archers released volleys of arrows, their shafts tipped with bronze and fletched with hawk feathers, yet Achilles' reflexes and shield blocked nearly every blow. Every motion, thrust, dodge, parry, was a symphony of lethal precision. Yet Achilles was more than skill. He was driven by a relentless hunger for Clio's eternal fame. He fought not for plunder nor simple victory, but for glory that would echo through the ages. His tent was filled with the spoils of war, swords, shields, and tapestries. Yet he slept lightly, dreaming always of battles to come, of enemies to face, of destiny to fulfill. When Agamemnon insulted him by taking Briseis, his prize, Achilles' rage became legendary. He withdrew, sitting among his myrmidons, his golden hair unbound, bronze armor polished, but untouched, eyes smoldering. The Trojans advanced, sensing the absence of Greece's mightiest warrior. Hector's forces, clad in bronze and leather, surged forward, but the Greeks faltered. Achilles' absence left a wound deeper than any spear could strike. When Patroclus fell, dressed in Achilles' own armor, bronze chestplate, crimson cloak, and greaves polished to a mirror shine, and was struck down by Hector's spear, Achilles' fury erupted. He donned new armor forged by Hephaestus, a masterpiece of bronze, silver, and gold etched with the cycle of the world itself. His shield depicted the earth, rivers, skies, and stars, the living and the dead. Golden hair glinting under the sun, gray eyes ablaze, Achilles charged. The Trojans, bronze clashing with bronze, spears rising and arrows flying, could only watch as he tore through them like a force of nature. His duel with Hector was immortal. Hector, in full bronze armor with a horsehair-plumed helmet, lunged with spear and sword. Achilles, chest plate gleaming, greaves protecting legs honed from years of training, spear flashing, moved with uncanny speed. Each strike of Achilles' Xiphos cut like lightning. Each thrust of his spear drove the Trojans backward. When he felt Hector, bronze armor ringing, it was a moment of awe and terror, the mightiest Trojan defeated by a single warrior whose very presence commanded legend. But Achilles' story did not end in triumph. As the war neared its conclusion, his fate, whispered by Thetis and feared by gods, came to pass. Paris, young and cunning, armed with a longbow and an arrow guided by Apollo, struck the vulnerable heel, the one mortal spot untouched by Styx. Achilles fell, clad in golden bronze armor, his crimson cloak trailing in the dust, spear and shield beside him. His golden hair lay matted, eyes open toward the sky, muscles relaxed but still showing the perfection of a godlike warrior. The Myrmidons wept, the Trojans stood in silent awe. Even the gods looked upon the mortal who had burned so brightly, yet briefly, with reverence. Achilles' death became eternal fame. His ashes were mingled with Patroclus, placed upon a pyre that blazed higher than any other, smoke spiraling to the heavens. Every bronze breastplate, every crimson cloak, every polished greave became a memory of glory. His story of strength, courage, tragedy, and honor carved itself into eternity, a lesson that even the mightiest are bound to fate, but that a life lived boldly can outshine centuries. Every time Achilles is imagined, chest plate gleaming, golden hair catching the sun, spear in hand, cloak trailing crimson, muscles taut, eyes burning gray with fire and grief, the warrior lives again, reminding us of the price of glory, the cost of pride, and the immortality of legend. Subscribe now to witness more heroes and battles, where armor shines, weapons gleam, and legends walk among mortals. For as long as stories are told, Achilles will never die.